Namaste. Mystical, bohemian, and fascinating, this is the neighborhood of La Candelaria in Bogotá, Colombia. This is the spot chosen by Mauricio Mediate today for visiting and, of course, tell a new story about mediation. When we talk about La Candelaria neighborhood, we necessarily involve tales of original history of Bogotá, full of chronicles of struggles and reconciliations, loves and heartbreaks, and of course, anecdotes of ordinary people like you and me. La Candelaria is Bogotá's vibrant heart, with landmarks of the colonial era cathedral and Republican and neoclassical constructions surrounded by Bolivar Plaza. This is a bohemian district of Bogotá. In here, you can get museums, art, bars, restaurants of homemade local delicious food, and music clubs when you can dance so contagious music. In here, you can walk without fear of getting lost. But if you get lost, no worries. This will be certainly a lovely and a great, wonderful experience.
In this charming refuge of adventurers, warriors, and dreamers, where our capital was born, of small streets that spring up in the sun and hide in the clouds, and where the narrow ways have names like Snake, Animal, or Fatigue Street, time seems to stop, and the watch can end up being completely useless. But these streets not only tell stories of romantic evocations, memoirs of historical heroes, and tales of witches and ghosts. They also remind us that human beings are made of emotions that allow us to overcome anger with calm, sadness with joy, and fear with courage. And we can always defeat adversity with hope. In addition to being an outstanding historical, tourist, and commercial neighborhood, La Candelaria is one of the academic centers par excellence of Bogotá, since in this area are located an important number of top-level university institutions, public and private schools, bookstores, and the most emblematic cultural center of the country and Latin America, the Luis Ángel Arango Library. This library is one of the most visited libraries in the world, with nearly 5,000 visitors a day, becoming a unique space not only for reading and research, but also a place of eminent cultural activities that includes concert halls, artistic exhibitions, and venues for conferences, seminars, and workshops for personal and professional growth. Throughout its history, La Candelaria has witnessed multiple disagreements, power battles, and economic conflicts. Perhaps for that same reason, here we have learned that there is no worse conflict than the one that is not faced and properly managed. Not in vain, Bogotá the capital of Colombia, was born in this area, where are based the main national political powers of our nation.
That's all I can tell you about this wonderful place. Then you should come here and see it with your own eyes and walk it with your own feet.
For all these reasons, we couldn't find a better space to propose a new story about mediation.
Now, mediation time. In a mediation space like this one, the first question that arises is, what is mediation? Even though it's not an easy answer, let's try to make a simple approach. And I would say that mediation is the way of life in search of harmony.
But why we look for harmony? Let's put it this way. What is our first problem in life? Leave the womb of our moms. Nothing pleasurable. From the very first day of our existence, we should face problems like cold, hunger, discomfort. And what do? We cry. Actually, we cry in a very annoying way, trying to draw the world's attention. However, we like it or not, we can't spend our whole life crying and complaining. Therefore, at some point in life, we must face our problems, and little by little, we should learn to overcome our basic difficulties. As simple as this, either we learn how to deal with our problems or we die. I'm sorry, but that is a rule of life. The longer we take to learn it, the more difficult it will be. Afterwards, in another stage of life, sooner or later, we must solve someone else's problems that at the end of the day are also ours, isn't it? Throughout life, we have to cope with our personality, parents, couples, children, bad habits, vices, jobs, etc. A whole sea of conflicts. Make a list and you will see that I'm not lying. My grandfather used to say, little children, little problems. Big children, big problems. Having said that, looking from another, more academic and practical angle, we can take a second approach that helps us answer the question, what is mediation? And then we could say that mediation is a method or a technique, or if you want, an art, which is aimed at organizing, defining, and executing the various stages that allow us to go from beginning to end in the management and solution of conflicts, controversies, or disputes. Whether we see it from a philosophical conception, or from a practical perspective, or from a combined vision, mediation is the only way to live in peace with ourselves and in harmony with other people around us and the world in general. As we can see, there are many ways to overcome problems, but which is the best? The one that each of you cultivates and forges. In this sense, we have two possibilities. we master to mediate our problems in a harmonious way, or many of us will see tons of tears rolling down our cheeks.
Now is the time to decide if we mediate by pure instinct, haphazardly, or we structure a precise method with a beginning, development, and end, with an awesome, a beautiful outcomes. The finest sunlight or moonlight wherever you are in this lovely planet.